Tim Briggs here, and today I am at Crooked Creek Park in Indian Trail, North Carolina, only a few miles from my house. I did not discover this course until earlier this year, but I've really enjoyed it. A lot of shots that are like 160 to 240. It'll force you to throw a lot of mids and putters on different lines, and you can see here, player A gets the birdie, player B not so much. But I'm starting off 1 under, hole 2, probably the hardest hole in the course. It's about a 300-foot hole, a really weird line. I threw a bad tee shot. All I had was this roller to get me in range for a par, and it was a lengthy par bid, but thankfully player A sinks it. Player B, not so much. I think this was the rare round where player A putted better than player B. On to the next hole. I sawed this backhand off, but it was just enough to get through there and give me a putt on hole 3 here. And again, player A barely makes it. Player B was a little bit better, but still a birdie on the scorecard. On to hole 4. I thought this was really good out of the hand. It needed to be about a foot to the right. This should be a hole that I should put close, but unfortunately I didn't, and then I didn't have a great putt at it either. That's okay. Sometimes you win them, sometimes you lose them. That's all right. Moving on to hole 5. I'm going to do a little flex forehand here. Turned it over probably a little too much. I think it hit a tree down there. Gave me a circle 2 look. Gave a good run. Not good enough. On to hole 6. This should be another hole that I should throw really well and give myself a good birdie look, but I burned that one over. And then I had like a 90-foot upshot into the wind, and I was just thankful that my jump putt was close. Hole 7. This was another shot, another foot to the right. Boy, it would have been really good. As it is, it hit a tree, and my putt was not very good. Hole 8. A lot of these kind of holes right here where there's 2 gaps. You can go inside or outside. I went inside gap, hit the gap, but just didn't push it far enough, didn't flip it up enough. Gave myself a good birdie look, but a terrible putt. So moving on to hole 9. Very similar hole to hole 8. Left gap, right gap. The left gap is very, very skinny. Again, the camera doesn't really do justice to how small this gap is, but I throw this one really well. Couldn't throw it much better for me. Gave myself a basket high, 28-foot putt, which I just airball. That was really bad. Player B can't even make it. That's disappointing. It would have been nice to birdie that one. Hole 10. This is a weird hole. I'm there. The camera is at the basket. I'm back there. I'm kind of throwing this weird turnover forehand that landed in the swamp. I took horizontal relief, quasi-illegal move, but I didn't want to stand in the water. It didn't matter because I don't make my putts here. So I'm going to par this guy. I guess player B made it, but player A didn't. Hole, I think this is 10 or 11. This is 11, I think. This is about a 105-foot shot. I'm throwing a forehand putter. Got to get this one right. Not a great drive, but good enough to get me a birdie on hole 11. I'm 3 under. And moving on to hole 12. This is a difficult shot. You got to hit this gap and then push the disc really far to the right. The angle is very difficult. I threw that really well. Didn't get great ground play, so I had this lengthy, probably 30-foot putt and sank it. Player A did at least, and I'll take that. That's a good putt with a lot of wind. So 4 under. Moving on, I believe this is hole 13. It's a kind of a weird little flex forehand shot for me. Kind of burned it over. Have the circle 2 look. Looked right out of the hand. Oh, man. That'd have been nice. Just a little bit short. Moving on. I think this is 14. I think I just turned that one over a little bit. And, yep, sure did. This is a hole that I would like to really put close as well. Not a great tee shot. Hole 15. This is probably the highlight hole of the course. Beautiful, beautiful hole. I threw a great shot. Very strong left to right wind on this hole. And the second shot was that was better. Wish I could have used that one. I still had a birdie look here. And again, out of the hand, I thought this was going to be great, but just a little too much wind, a little too much, lift, and couldn't get that. Hole 16, I thought I threw this perfect. Really good line, hits a late tree, and it's just a tough shot to execute. Gave a good run. Couldn't pick up the birdie. Hole 17, really tight line. Little flip up forehand, and then it's got to just coast and glide down the chute, and that one did. Couldn't have thrown that one much better. Allows me to get the birdie to get to 5 under. And then onto hole 18, very similar kind of shot. Got to hit the gap, and it's got to really be glidey down the chute after that and go hard to the right. Throw that one pretty good, and I got some decent ground play. Still gave me a good lengthy putt. After the round, I just went down and set up the camera down there so you can see how tight this shot is and what it kind of looks like from behind the basket. But here is my putt to end my round, and sank it. That felt good. Both Mario and Luigi hit this one. Finished 6 under. That's a pretty good round. I will take it. Go play Crooked Creek Park sometime.